Yes.
How's it going? Sweet. DJ Flex. How you doing?
All good, all good. How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Yes, yes.
Again, thanks for joining us, guys, on Views from the East End, our workplace edition,
Yeah.
or workplace series, I should say.
Episode 2, man.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
I think our last episode was pretty good about, interview process
That's
and
right.
stuff. I think this time round, we want to talk about your first day at work.
First day at work.
So you've aced the interview, you've got your dream job,
You're in, mate.
you're in the office on your first day.
Chuffed to bits.
Trust a bit. I mean, is that really how it feels like? Are you nervous
Nah.
before it, or what's your?
I don't feel anything.
experience? You don't feel anything?
Like, it's one of those ones where it's like, I think I just don't care. Like in that
Okay.
way, you know what I mean? Because it's gonna be what it's gonna be. If you get what I
Yeah,
mean. Like
yeah.
it's like, you get on you stand in the queue at Fort Park or Owen Towers or whatever. Like it's gonna be what it's gonna be now.
Right.
Like you can't get there now and feel like, oh,
No,
it's gonna
yeah.
be what it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So of course over the weekend and everything else, you're like, yeah, okay, cool. I get my work clothes ready and all this other stuff. Pack lunch, or usually you won't even be doing pack lunch on their first day. You know what I
You
mean?
get your wife to do it for you anyway.
You know,
so
I mean,
you're
well,
lucky.
could do, you know what I mean? But like, that's never going to be the case, because on your first day you're going to be out with the team, maybe even
Yeah,
the first
yeah,
week.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're not even going to have a chance to bring your own food or whatever the case may be. And maybe after the first week you can get into the routine of your pack lunches and all that other
I
stuff.
think to touch on packed lunches, some companies don't even do that. Some companies won't even sort of ease you in that way. Some of them it'll just be like a normal job, really. I mean, you just you mentioned about how your team might sort of take you out for lunch, or
I think that's
uh,
customary, man.
it's customary,
What kind
but
of
no,
company
I mean,
is this? If
I've been
they
in
go,
companies that haven't done that.
that's a joke. Well,
Some of them they'll come to you. They might sort of say, "Let's go out for coffee," or might go out for a drink after work. But for lunches, usually you sort of bring your own stuff in. Really, to be honest.
no, that's wild, boy.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to make the person feel welcome.
I think
You're
they make you feel
supposed to
welcome
them
in a way where it's maybe not going out for lunch, but they don't. I've never. Some companies. One company they took us to Nando's actually.
Oh, okay.
Which is
No,
pretty
That's a
nice.
good company. You want
Um,
to shut them out?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. The guy took me out for Nando's, and we had like a really good sort of get to know you hour there as well. And they're just a really good guy as well. So I think that, as you said, it eases you into the job. And you feel
Yeah,
more
man.
comfortable
I
around
think
you.
that's cool, because I'm
Yeah.
less likely to want to hang out after work anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once I'm done, I gotta get back to whatever I do outside of work. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So.
yeah.
Like I rather it be at the lunchtime where if we are to do something, I rather it just be done then, because I won't have the time after work.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, fair enough. I guess everyone's got commitments. Some people got kids, some people got things
yeah,
to do.
you
So
got all of that stuff.
you
You know
can't
what I
spend
mean?
you got to be in the next day as well.
Yeah,
So
you know what I mean. But first day,
Mm.
you're in.
Mm.
You walk through the door. You go, reception meet you. Oh yeah, great. Oh,
Get your picture taken for
get
the
your
ID
picture
card.
take for ID card and all other stuff. Your manager might walk around. You'd be like, oh, you're great. You're here. How's your journey in? And blah blah blah. And then you walk over. You get introduced to like every department.
you
You know
do,
what I
yeah.
mean? And I think the worst part is remembering names.
Remembering names,
I'm
yeah.
so bad at that.
I tend to remember names of people who work directly with me every day. Some companies I've been to have got massive sections. You've got customer service, you've got the marketing, then you've got the IT section, you've got
Yeah.
admin, you've got HR as well. So the guys, maybe I'll sort of know the names of the marketing people because they're the ones I deal with every single day.
Yeah.
You tend to sometimes make friends with guys from other departments as
Mm.
well. But yeah, I agree. Remembering names can be a bit of a
That's
tricky one.
difficult. It's
at
difficult.
times,
That's my struggle. I can't
Struggle, yeah.
remember anyone's name. I'll be like, yeah. I mean, like, oh, do you remember John over there? Oh, I remember John. I just didn't know that was his name. Yeah.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, I mean, so first day in work. So you wasn't nervous before you started?
Nah, I wasn't nervous. I mean, because like I would say, let's say if it's your first day, you know what I mean? It's no different from like your first day at uni and having to go to the lectures or go into seminars or whatever. You don't know everybody there, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like the same, you know what I mean? The same feeling anyway I
Yeah.
get. So it's not nerve-wracking or anything, you know what I mean? I just get in there, try and conversate with the people around me, kind of work out what they're about, you know what I mean? And then we just get cracking, really, you know what I mean? Because I know usually the first day or week is a feel out process anyway, so you're not gonna hit the ground running unless if you're a contractor. So if you're a contractor, you gotta get in and get straight in.
You're there to do the job,
They don't waste time with you. You don't even get introduced to anybody. You just get to your desk. You know what I mean?
Like people turn into office and like, who's that guy sitting in the corner?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who he is. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not going around and actually introduce yourself
Nah.
to everyone. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's kind of weird. You just said about the first week being a feeling that process. probably my most recent company, which is a temporary job for a sports company. I had a good time there. I always wanted to work in sports, to be honest. So it's a sort of sports nutrition anyway.
That's fun.
It was good to sort of get a feel of that environment, and everyone was pretty cool there, to be honest. But when I first went there, I got stuck in straight away because I was there for a limited amount of time.
Yeah, see.
And I was there to do a project, which we had a deadline for.
See.
So, and plus my job was pretty important because it involved data.
Yeah.
And migrating data onto a certain platform. So before it's e-commerce based as well. So it's online e-commerce. So as you imagine, when that website is launched, everything needs to be intact.
Yeah.
So I think every day, every hour, every minute is pretty important. So when I was there, I mean, you get introduced to the team. You walk into the kitchen sometimes and you can bump into some guys there. And luckily, I think there's a graphics team behind me, and they were pretty cool. One of the guys was a football fan as well, so we could sort of conversate on that. But yeah, I think from my experience on the first days, I got moved around a lot.
Oh, so you sit with different departments?
Yeah, because I was there for a limited amount of time. Rosie, who I worked with at the time, really cool girl, she would move me around on different departments because there's no set space. I mean, there was for a time.
So you just sit where it was vacant.
Vacant. Yeah, but for I think a month or so, I sat in the same spot because somebody who worked overseas for the company, she would come in. I think 2 days every month. So I was just literally keeping her seat warm until she came back for those 2 months. So that was with customer service as well. So I sat with those guys for a bit, got to know them pretty well.
Which is nice because you get to kind of meet everybody.
You do. You're right. And everywhere you go to, everyone's like, "Oh, you're Rich. You're doing the PhD stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And like, "How's it going?" And you just take conversation from there. You get to know them a bit better as well. So yeah, I kind of got moved around a lot. Again, you're right. It gives you exposure to different departments as well. But I think sometimes it can be a bit unsettling when you come to a job and you know that even though I had one space that was for me, but that was when the girl who worked overseas wasn't coming into London. Yeah. So, when she's there, that's her seat.
But, that's just like a contractor's world, isn't it? Like, that's a contractor's issue. Like, if you're permanent, you're full-time guys. If you're full-time permanent, usually there is a spot for you.
If there isn't a spot for you, I'm worried for you.
I'm worried for you. You know what I mean? They must have missed.
In the morning or something.
They didn't like you, man. They just looked at you and thought, you know what? It's crazy like that. But, I mean, first day is usually always cool, calm. Yeah. You get, like I said, introduced to everybody else. You sit there and you go. You might even have like induction in some places. I mean, health and safety.
I think you also fill out those forms like HR forms.
Yeah, HR forms and other stuff
like that as well.
All of that. You know what I mean? Passport. You got to bring your passport in. They take a photocopy of that stuff, and and then you're.
I think actually one job I went to as well. I think one of the girls I was working with in the team, she took me around for a tour around the place.
Yeah, okay.
Not just the building itself, but the local surroundings, like cafes, just little places you can go to for lunch, maybe parks you want to sit in case the weather's nice, stuff like that.
She wanted to show you the cafes and the parks. She didn't have a thing for you or something. Like she was just...
I don't think so. To be fair, she's a nice girl, but I don't know if she had a thing for me.
God damn.
I think she was just friendly.
Man, cafes and parks. I mean.
I think
hint.
I think we went past the flower shop as well. Actually.
Oh my goodness! Hint.
Yeah, she didn't. She went in with taking me around and showing me the whole place, surrounding. But she was I enjoyed working with her. To be honest,
you definitely did.
She's really approachable. There's no dates though. There's no dates, but she's really approachable. I think that helps because even throughout that tour, it was just I spoke to her on a normal level about her life. I know she was from Scotland. I know she just moved to London recently.
Weirdly enough, they're nicer people.
They are. Very approachable as well. Yeah. And as being a news person as well, helping you settle in, that helps. So it isn't just a chance, again, to sort of show you around the place, but you get to know your colleague on a more deeper level, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was good because sometimes when you come into a new job on the first day, you're kind of thinking to yourself, you want everyone to like you. You want to be able to settle in quickly as well. Yeah. So I tend to compare it to other places I've worked in. So how was the first day there?
100%.
So for me, it's more like, and most of the first days I've had, to be honest, in the last couple of years since I've left uni, they've been okay. They've not been bad first days.
That's good. I mean,
because they'll show you different systems depending on what job you do.
Yeah.
You get introduced to systems. They might give you some exercises to do as well. And for me, I've always been a quick learner. So when it comes to day 2, I'm settled in and I'm ready to go at that point.
Yeah.
Because usually if you've done similar jobs in the past, you've got some sort of
familiarity with what's going on,
different systems and stuff like that. So that helps too. But I think for first days, it's always, for me, I won't say it's nerve-wracking.
Nah.
But you just want to, for your sake, you want to be able to settle in properly. and go from there. Really, I don't know if you've had any first day like nightmares or
No, I
anything like
haven't
that.
had any first day nightmares, but I've heard,
You've heard
you
of
know,
them,
of first day nightmares. I mean,
have you hired people who have had first day nightmares?
because you know, like, so if you remember in the last episode,
Mm.
I spoke about a fella who came in and you know he was just casually all
Oh,
that
so you
other
actually employed that
stuff,
guy?
and yeah, so I ended up employing him anyway.
So he was good
because the HR liked him.
Right,
Weirdly,
right.
I didn't really like him, but
Right.
HR liked him. And then he was just late again, and then he
On
was
the
late
first
the
day?
day after, and he was just late every day. You're just thinking, what the
Wait,
heck?
so when he's late, how is it? 10 minutes late?
Nah, he's like 15, 20 minutes late, and you're just thinking, nah, that can't fly.
Funny enough, I had one guy who I used to manage as well, who was consistently late.
Yeah.
I know these are young people, but it's like you're telling me the trains are late. I'm just thinking, leave the house a bit earlier, please.
Yeah,
because
that's the oldest excuse though. Okay, yeah, the
Yeah.
trains are late. Get a bus. You know what I mean?
they said the
Like,
bus is late.
oh yeah, the one.
Or my
Walk.
alarm didn't work.
I don't care.
Or
Walk.
my iPhone was dead.
Well, then you're gonna buy a real alarm. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, oh, I ain't trying to hear none of that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm here.
Hmm.
Do you get what I mean? Like, you know, and what was funny was when you realize that, oh, the guy only lives, you know, in whatever location. You're like, but I know them ends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you lying?
Some people
Like,
say that.
come
Look,
off
I
that.
do understand there are train delays, and TfL is not always the most reliable service.
Yeah, but
but
it's not every day, though,
like,
mate.
yeah, it's not. If you're
It's not
coming
every day.
20 minutes late every day, then you're making me regret my decision hiring you now.
Oh,
and
you just get fired, and he got fired.
you got fired.
Yeah.
How long was it until you got fired?
4 days.
Really?
Yeah, you just get fired, man.
So I think for you as an employer, you've had this process where you've had to interview people, and now you've gone for this certain guy.
Yeah, you just get fired.
And-
Like, HR wanted him more than I did. Yeah, I mean, so off the strength of HR, and he was replacing me. So I didn't
Oh,
really.
okay.
Yeah, so I was like, well, that's for you, man, to live
That,
with.
so you actually left then?
No. So I was like, you know what? Because I like my manager, I don't want to do that to her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm gonna get rid of this guy, and
Yeah.
we're gonna find someone else. You know what I mean? Who can be more trustworthy with their time,
Mm.
because I keep a good time, and I want that to be something that is kind of left there. You know what I mean? So you can trust if someone's gonna say like, I'm gonna have a meeting, but I want to be able to, you know, dial another office in, but it's gonna be at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't need you showing up at 8:15.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because that person's gonna have missed 45 minutes of their meeting or whatever.
That's
So
yeah.
I needed someone who you could, you know, trust that they were gonna show up on time, and so we found another
True.
guy.
It's like you can't come to that guy. If you're going to first date,
First day, you can't come
turn
late.
up late,
You
guys.
can't.
Do you know
You
what I mean?
just
But
can't.
like I said, I understand there are delays with travel in London, especially. But if you're coming consistently 20 minutes late,
It's a
then
joke. It's a joke.
you're
I
trying to
leave
test
an
someone's
hour and
patience.
15 minutes before I need to be there.
Be there, yeah, because you never know what can happen.
Well, I
You never
mean-
know what can happen. But it's like for me, I manage people who were consistently late. But when I'm talking to them, they're much younger than I am. So I'm trying to spin it up on you now. I'm thinking, okay, look, we're working a team here. So I've got other interns I've employed along with you. We've all got jobs we do from certain times in the morning when we come into work.
Mhm.
So by you coming in late, they have to fill in for you at that point.
Yeah,
So now you're delaying that person's time, or you're cutting off their work period to
100%.
cover your work
Yeah.
because you couldn't be able to come in on time. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, look, you're here for a certain amount of time. So when you leave this job, and your next employer asks Richard, okay, how was this person? Do I lie to that person and say you came to work on time all the time, or do I say, look, this person was timekeeping was really really poor, not trustworthy? I mean, what do you want me to say?
This is the thing.
So I make you think at that point, oh, hang on a minute, I'm putting Richard in a really tricky position now, because if I want a reference in the future, is he really going to give me a good reference because I'm coming late all the time?
I just be honest.
Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, so I ask them, what do you want me to say to you? And a lot of times they will grin at you, because sometimes I'm someone who, because of my nature,
They
do not
can't take
me
you seriously.
because I'm a very patient person. I'm a very patient person. I am, again, like I've been in a position as interns. It's hard at times. It's different. It's different. You're getting used to a new work environment. But when I was an intern, I wasn't coming late all the time.
Nah, man.
Do you know what I mean? So coming to work on time is not difficult.
It's not, man. And especially, I think if you're an intern, you got to look at it as an opportunity. You know what I mean? And
That's what I say. all the
on
time.
day one, you got to, you know, show that, you know what? Like, if you're the type of intern which hasn't, like, you're not going back to college or uni or whatever, you want to kind of turn that into a permanent position. You want them to see something in you, which makes them feel like, you know what? We're willing to, you know, open up the budget, get this person on board permanently. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and on day one, you got to show, you know, some characteristics, you know, which show that you're the right choice at the end of the day. Because, like we mentioned in the last episode, you know what I mean, you've got your 3 months probation. In some places, it's 6 months because they really don't trust whoever's going to be walking in here. You know what I mean? So you've got to, you know, show that you're good for it. You know what I mean? And you know, you don't want it to slack neither. After day 1, you know, you don't want to think, oh yeah, I made a good impression, and then day 2 you're a bit easy, and then it kind of goes downhill. You want to just, you know, go uphill, so to speak. You want to just keep, you know, a certain good track record of yourself, you know. And I would say, you know, for all those which start in a new place of employment, like I learned this from my manager, is log everything you do. Okay. Log absolutely everything you do.
Assuming like log in terms of like having a notebook.
Yeah.
To write stuff down.
Just everything you've been doing and everything else, just keep track of it. Because at the end of the day, you know, when you
does that help you then?
100%. Yeah, I mean, because you need to know, like, you know, at the end of it, you might be able to review yourself at the end of the week or the end of the month and realize, oh man, I spent quite a bit of time doing this, and that was a waste of time. Okay. Because this was much more important, and I was stuck over here doing that. Yeah. Or, you know, basically, if you are wanting to move on to a new role, you want to be able to easily put your CV together, and then you got that book you can refer to say, yep, well, I've done this, and it's real stuff you've done because you've logged it.
It's true. You know? I think I used to have like notebooks in my previous roles, but I don't know where they are now. I used to write, because I used to, again, when you're working with new systems, you have to write stuff down. But those are all really good things. But I didn't really think of it as, you just said, in terms of logging things that maybe are not to do with your job, but maybe things you might have done on the side.
Yeah, man.
As, you know, to get used to your new work environment.
That's right, man. Log it all.
But I think sometimes, I don't know if you've been in a position, but I've had people who have worked, but they've struggled to sort of integrate with people in the team. They struggle to sort of maybe set into work environment at all. I don't know if they're nervous, but I understand on your first day, maybe you're not used to everyone, but when it gets to the point where you've been there for a month, 2 months,
you've got to get to grips with it.
And you're not.
I know some people which don't even get past the interview because they just say, not good cultural fit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I don't think you can work well with the team. You're great. I would hire you, but the team is like this. Like, for example, some couple of jobs back, like our head of operations and everything, you know, he swears a lot and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And we're okay with it. Like, you know, we know it's not at you. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's directing it at you. But someone else might be there and might feel a certain way about it. And then you realize, you're not right for the team. You know what I mean?
Some people get easily offended, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even when it's not aimed at them.
That's right. But it's not that. You know what I mean? It's just like, beep. And there's like,
how many beeps can you go through a day though?
It depends how many times things are messing up.
Seems like in your case a lot.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but some people just, again, like they struggle to sort of like, you know, integrate the team and stuff. So
yeah, they struggle. But you know, you gotta be, you know, a person who kind of mixes with other personalities. You know what I mean? And maybe you might want to take a personality test to even work out what type of personality you got. So that you kind of know what environments you might cope best in. You know what I mean? 100%.
So I work in environments, like different types of environments. I work in environments that are very corporate. Some environments, again, like are very lively, like recruitment is a very sort of team orientated environment. And there are people who are very welcoming as well. I think when you're working in a team or a company that's not very welcoming, that's when people tend to shut themselves out, I guess. Yeah. But for me, in terms of how I built a team when I was managing people, I like to integrate everybody. And because again, I always put myself in their shoes and thinking, okay, what was it like when I was an intern? How would I want my boss to be like? Yeah. So make sure everyone's together. Make sure it's an open environment. So there's criticism. I think some people, on your first day, you're gonna make mistakes, and when you make mistakes, you'll get told you're making mistakes. Yeah. But how are you deal with it, man?
How you bounce back from it?
Some people will shut down after they make mistakes.
It's inevitable.
But for me, I don't mind if you make mistakes. I want to see that, number one, you're taking on board my feedback. Number two, you're actually learning from it. Yeah, man. Because some people you work with have been there for like 6 months and they're still making the same old thing. I'm thinking to myself, so when we have a conversation and I'm coming around, I'm giving you the feedback. What are you doing at that point? I'm talking to you. Like, what are you looking at on the screen, or what are you sort of digesting in terms of I'm giving you
their mind is checked out. Like, oh, here's Richard again.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, again, so like my line of work, marketing, it's stuff are going online. Stuff is going on social media platforms. It's going on websites. It's going on email templates. you know.
But here's Richard again. He's picking on me.
Not picking on
He's
anyone. The
picking
problem
on
is, if it gets wrong,
I've only been here my first day.
if you come in on your first day or your 1,000th day at a work job, but if you've got a spelling mistake and it goes out and I approve of it and I'm trusting you to say, okay, look, make sure that you know proofread it, make sure everything's good, but something goes out to 20,000 people and the punctuation's wrong or whatever, and I approve it, I get in trouble for it.
Yeah, no, facts. I mean,
and I'm assuming that you as an intern would want to be in my position one day.
yeah.
So when you're coaching people in your line of work in the future, how are you going to feel?
100%.
You know, I think people don't understand that sometimes.
Well, yeah, I mean, until they get there, some people it's more of an experience thing. You know, some people rather go through experience than take the wisdom that's being given at the time. You know what I mean? And each
My
to
wisdom,
their
by
own.
the way, is a very good wisdom as well.
Like-
Like the way I coach people.
Let's ask your interns about that.
So look, listen,
You know what I
if you're
mean?
watching, guys, comment please.
There's
Because you know how good I was to you when I was working.
1,000 dislikes for him, I bet you.
But listen, my interns, I love my interns. They're great. I'm still friends with them to this day as well.
No, that's fantastic.
So,
I mean, day one. I mean, it's nice. I can't complain. I've had everywhere I've gone. I've had a good day one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think just being welcomed, meeting the team. And it's like, oh yeah, this person from HR was in my interview. Oh hi, how you doing? Oh yeah, it's great. Whoop de whoop. And then you just kind of keep it moving. You know what I mean?
I
And
actually see it as well like a sigh of relief. My first day's out of the way now. I settled in well.
yeah,
Now
it's
tomorrow,
good.
Tuesday,
And
we're going to get stuck in.
that's
now.
it. We crack on, and before you know it, it's Friday. Week's done, and then now, for me personally, I feel like week 2 is when it's like it's when it really goes down.
I mean, because your job's very technical. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So,
But funny enough, because now like I've kind of as you go up the ladder, it still remains technical, but now you're not like just the person who implements. Now you're the person who has to oversee, and then also you have to talk with stakeholders of the business.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's a different type of thing, because now you got to take all this technical stuff and make it very not technical, so that the people which don't have that mindset can understand what the heck you're talking about when you're saying we're going to be doing X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. Or if they're talking about doing something which is, maybe it doesn't sound technical to them, then now you've got to bring the technical aspects to it and then tell your team, this is what we're going to be doing, and this is how I think we can go about doing it. And then they're the guys on the boots on the ground which are going to be able to get the job done. Of course, with yourself, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah. I think the higher up you go, no matter what you do, the more you become the umbrella of the particular department or whatever. You know what I mean? And if you are, let's say, you're successful, you've gone past day 1, you've gone past week 1, week 2, 3, 4, you've gone past and you've got probation out of the way, you're in. Now you want to be an integral part of the team. You want to be the shoulder the team can lean on. You know what I mean? You don't want to just be a team member. You know what I mean? You want to be able to put yourself in a position where it's, they can trust me. You know what I mean?
It's good what you're saying. It's actually a key point you mentioned, probation there. And I didn't really look at any jobs as a probation period. I looked at it as, okay, I'm here for the long term here. I never treat it as probation. I never treat it as in it's a trial. I treat it as like I'm going to come in, I'm going to get stuck in, I'm going to get my ideas on board, and I'm going to treat it as if I'm going to be here for the next 5-6 years. Yeah. That's why I treat every job. And I think sometimes when you know that there's a probation period or you're at a job for a short amount of time, people's mindsets can change a bit, because you think, okay, well, no matter what happens, this is my first day, but I'm only here for another 2 months or 3 months. You think, okay, no matter what happens, I'm going to be leaving on this date, so I don't have to really do as much.
No, I guess for probation, you can leave any time.
The thing about probation is they can sack you, by the way.
Yeah, it works both ways.
So it's not
for
about
everybody.
when you think it suits you.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
They can say, listen, you're not pulling your weight here. We hired you because we thought you would do a good job, but it just seems as if, like, you're just not engaged, you just don't care really.
Yeah.
You're coming in late every day. You're overstaying your lunch breaks. You're going to Manchester on your lunch breaks. Coming back at 3 o'clock.
Coming back at 3 o'clock, you know what I mean? And then at 4:45, you know what I mean? You're getting ready to go home. 4:55, nah, it doesn't work like that, mate. It doesn't work like that.
The workplace is a very interesting place.
People are watching. That's one thing I will tell you.
Yeah.
As much as you think people ain't watching, man, everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who gets in first. Everyone knows who leaves last. Everybody knows when this person shows up. Everybody knows when this person goes. Everyone is watching. Everyone is watching. You know what I mean? So don't make yourself the person to stand out in a negative way.
It's true what you're saying, actually. It's very, very true. So, as you said, your first impressions, it's not just first impressions, they're lasting impressions as well.
Yeah.
So if you come in on your first day and you mentioned you've come in late and, you're not just your first day, but your first week, I guess.
Yeah, first week.
If you're coming late, you're just not really shown that you care much, or you're overstaying your lunch breaks, or you're leaving before you should be leaving. These impressions, I think, as you said, people see these things.
They see them, man.
And they're going to make a lasting impression from you because of that.
Mate, there's people in the offices, right? You won't even know who they are, but they're snitching. You know what I mean? They're snitching.
Have you had experience of people snitching on you?
Nah, I've not had. Well, if they did, I don't know about it. I don't know about it. You know what I mean? But like,
someone's out to get you in it.
It happens. It happens. So when you think that no one's watching, you know what I mean? They say the walls have eyes and ears. You know what I mean? Like, someone has gone and told somebody else.
The thing is, people have to remember, every job you're doing, people are not there permanently.
Nah.
So somebody could go into another company who might be managing you one day and think, you know what, Francis was with me for 2 years and I really loved his work. For every day of the 2 years we worked together, he was a very good employee. So I've gone on to a different company now, but I want to recruit Francis.
That's
now.
right, yeah.
So further doors can open for you
100%,
at that point. But
100%.
people don't realize that.
People don't realize it. And like you mentioned, interns and everything else is, you might one day that intern might be the owner of a business or the managing director or whatever the case may be. And you might be the one day looking at your CV now the tables have turned.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
So further doors can open, opportunities can be created as well, but it all comes down to you as an individual, what you make with what you're given, 100%. I guess. But sometimes you can't just go into a job and sit there and just sort of twiddle your fingers all day. You have to be able to be productive. People want to, I know you mentioned as well about helping people. In the previous podcast, you mentioned about how you like to help a lot of your teammates, and sometimes that even sort of takes up time from your work as well. So having that attitude, it's a good attitude to have because it shows you're committed. It shows you actually care about your work.
Yeah, I mean, and caring, I mean, you put a different type of output. You know what I mean? There's the one who doesn't care, you see how their work looks. And the one who does care, you kind of see how their work looks, you know what I mean? And it goes a long way, like I personally feel like the moment you do stop caring, that's the moment to hand in your resignation.
I guess if the money's good, you're not really gonna hand it in, are you?
I mean, some people don't care anymore. Like, some people just genuinely just be like, well, I'll just get another job.
Have you been in like situations where you haven't cared before?
Eventually, I can get to the point where I don't care, and that
So when you don't care, you're saying you don't care. So I mean, you come into work every day, you don't care, but are you still doing the work to the best of your ability?
I would always do it to the best of my ability because at the end of the day, that's the reflection. I want to leave that behind. Like, no matter what, he was good. You know what I'm saying? But in my heart, I don't care.
You don't care.
You know what I mean? And at that point, I'm already out there looking.
Right.
Yeah, I'm already out there looking.
But when you come to work every day, everyone still looks at you and thinks this guy is...
Yeah, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know that this guy's about to bail.
Some people actually come into work and you can just tell. They're just like...
Yeah, they just don't give it. It's like, I don't give it.
Some people go into jobs, and there's one guy I worked with a company, and the company's going through a bit of a struggle at the time, and people were leaving, and people just weren't really happy there. And this guy came in, and he was watching Love Island on the computer.
Yeah, see, look, he just didn't give it.
He came in because he had to come in. Because if he didn't come in, I don't think they would have paid him.
That's like.
But I'm thinking you've sat there with your arms folded, and I can see your computer screen,
and he just doesn't even care.
He doesn't care.
Wait, I remember my day one at one company. I went in the kitchen, right, and they're making tea. People just walked in there talking about who's about to get fired, talking about who's leaving.
I've had all that kind of
stuff. This is my day one though. I don't need to hear this on day one. I want to hear about who's coming. I want to hear about who's staying. I want to know that the ship I'm on is not the ship everyone's trying to get off. you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, so when you hear that, does that make you regret joining the business?
No, but it just makes me wonder what's going on in the business at a certain level. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I just got here. I need to figure things out, and then I realized, eventually over the next 6 months, then I clocked what is going on, and I realized, well, this doesn't affect me. Do you know what I'm saying? So there could be things going on, whereas it's like, this doesn't affect me.
I think it's very important for people to think of that as well, because first impressions are not just the company's first impressions of you. It's about your first impressions of the business itself and how are the people you'll be working with. What are they like day to day? And if you're hearing about people potentially leaving the business at that point, what does that? It leaves you kind of going home scratching and thinking, it's obviously not all green here.
It's definitely not all green
because people are talking about people getting fired and people leaving. So clearly, I might have drawn the sinking ship here.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I realized that there were certain parts of the ship that was sinking, but my section was all right. You know what I mean? Like the water ain't got there yet. You know what I mean? But
you can swim, though, innit?
Yeah, I can't even swim. If the water got there, I'd have been in a bit of trouble. I'd have been in a bit of trouble. You know what I mean? But when I could see that the water was coming close, I got out. It's like, it's not for me no more.
But sometimes you can actually, because if you're heading up that particular department, you can also have an influence on how it changes. So the ship might be sinking, but when it gets to your part, you can say, okay, I'm doing everything I can here to make sure that it's steady. It might not be getting up, but it's steady at some point.
But at least it's not going down.
So exactly. So it's steady. So you can also have a positive influence that way as well.
100%.
That way. So it's not just about, again, going to work and impressions of you as an employee, but what am I thinking about the business? I'm walking in, I want to. When I was in my interview, I was told that we're a thriving business. I was told that everyone's on their job. But if I'm coming on the first week and I'm seeing people just doing the opposite,
thing, or watching Love Island on the screen and all of that, you're just thinking, what the heck?
Like, what's going on?
What the heck?
But people do. When it comes to World Cup season as well, people watch World Cup and stuff.
Yeah, look, I encourage it. I think, when there's a big sporting event, I feel like if there's screens in the office or whatever, just put it on mute and put it on the screen.
Some offices actually have like Sky News, like have news on constantly as well.
I like
so what's going on around London.
I like that because at the end of the day, like if I'm walking into the kitchen and I'm making a tea or whatever, I want to be able to just look at the screen and be like, oh snap, that's what's been going on. Whoop-de-whoop, maybe might stand there for like a 1 minute, 2 minutes, sip my tea, whatever, and then crack on. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want it to be...
you like tea and coffee when you come to work?
I like hot chocolate and tea.
Do you have hot chocolate during the day at work?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
100%. I have that in the morning.
Is that in winter or is that all seasons?
Doesn't even matter when. I just have it. I don't like coffee.
You don't like coffee?
Nah.
Actually, to be fair, I used to make coffee quite a bit when I was, especially winter time.
I just don't.
When I've got a cold as well, I love hot drinks.
Yeah, I like hot. I just don't like coffee.
I think I like coffee in the winter for some reason. It just helps you wake you up. For me, anyway.
I mean, see, when people say that, it wakes me up. Well, why aren't you awake? You know where you was going.
You're awake, but it helps you. Like you come to your desk, you sit down at your desk, and you log into your computer, but you're still kind of like you're awake, but you're not awake for the day yet.
Man, I've got stuff to do, man. I'm awake, man.
I'll be honest, when you come and you know you've got a long day ahead of you, then you'll crack on.
I ain't got time to waste.
Sometimes you don't even go out for lunch. Sometimes,
mate. The other day I even forgot to even have my breakfast, and I had it all on my desk. And I was like,
you know what? You go into work sometimes and you look into emails, and your inbox is. Like, I went on holiday once. I think I went to Barcelona in October 2017. And I came back to work. And I don't know why I opened my emails before I went back to work, but I just saw like an inbox of 50 emails.
See, crazy.
And I was thinking, I'm going to work on Monday and I've got all this to do. And on top of that, I had things to do already.
Yeah, see. So now you're just backlogged.
So it's like, okay, do I get to work for 8 o'clock or what?
Mate, do you know, there's two ways you can look at it. They've had to wait anyway, so what's them waiting an extra few minutes while I eat my food and settle in? You know what I mean? Or I go through all of this so I get the scope of what's going on, and then...
But you lose appetite, though.
It's like... I like to have my breakfast late anyway. I'm not the type which gets in and then has breakfast straight away. So I get in, I prep my breakfast, and then I'm going to get to it betwing 10 and 11 o'clock.
I think some places I've been to, like offices, we've had like cereal in the cupboards and stuff.
Yeah, so you can just.
So if you miss breakfast home, you're always welcome to have breakfast in your office when you get in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might open your emails and look at what you have to do, and your appetite goes.
Yeah, because you got a lot.
Because you got to do, and you're thinking it's lunchtime at 1 o'clock, and do I want to go out for a walk? You want to go out for a walk, but can you?
It happens. I mean, for me, I'll be like, if I can take it, I take it. If I can't, I can't. That's just how the game goes. Because there's going to be days where, sorry to say, there's going to be nothing really to do.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? It happens. You know what I mean? So during those times is where I will go for my walk. I will go and do this. I will go and do that, whatever. But
go get hot chocolate.
But when there is stuff to do, I just need it to be done and out of the way. I don't even want to look at it. But, what's your first day, last words? First day, last words.
First last words. I think when you go in there, expect anything to happen,
Mm.
because a lot of times we try to routine things in our head. We try to have a script of what the day will be like based on other, which I've done many times as well. I've been to work environments and I've tried to sort of compare it to previous workplaces on the first day. But every workplace is different.
Yeah, it's not the same everywhere.
It's not the same. But I think be prepared. Again, leave on time, please. Get there on time. Get to work on time, because it helps everybody that way. But I think be excited as well. Be excited for your new challenge.
Yeah.
It's a different experience. Of course, it will be nerve-wracking, especially if you're someone who's pretty reserved. But your team's there to make you feel welcome there as well.
That's right, yeah.
And if you've got a good team, they will make you feel welcome.
Yeah, they will.
You know. But yeah, look, I think first days, again, expect anything. Be excited. Prepare well. And get there on time, really. That's what I can say, to be honest.
That's it.
I don't really think there's anything else you can really say on that.
Well, you know what we can say? We can say like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, that is a
You
good
know what I
point.
mean? That's what it is. Like, share, subscribe, and follow.
Yeah, please comment as well, guys.
Comment,
If you
you know
like
what
what
I
we've been
mean?
talking about, if you've got maybe your own suggestions,
It's real, man.
just put them in the comment section, and we're happy to touch upon those. But in the meantime, as you just said, like, share, subscribe at EEViews on Facebook, Twitter,
That's right.
Instagram. We're on Libsyn, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes.
All of that. YouTube.
YouTube as well. So be subscribed as well, guys. Trying to get subscribers up. You never know, if we get 100, you might give out a free prize one day.
We will. I think we're like 20 something. You know what I mean? So
Which is
come on,
pretty low,
mate.
innit?
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's low, but it's all right.
There's people watching as well who won't subscribe. I don't know why.
I'm like that though, so I don't even blame them.
Are you? Well, you're not helping the
You know,
thing.
it is though. I would watch for like a few months, and then I'd be like, "You've earned my subscription."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
'Cause
are we earning the subscription now then?
I don't even. We got to ask these guys.
Listen, if you are, put yes in the comments section, yes or no in the comment section, and we'll take that feedback. But listen, I've enjoyed this chat.
Yeah,
today.
man, for sure.
We've all been through first days and interviews and etc. So it's always good to give our experiences back.
Yeah,
to our
back to the
listeners as
peoples,
well.
man. Of course, man. And next episode is all about culture. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's
Culture
an
in the
interesting
office.
one. It's an
Yeah.
interesting one. I
That's
know
gonna
we're
be
all
interesting.
different cultures, so yeah, stay tuned for that one, guys.